Oops, where'd my script go? Oh boy. It's always something, isn't it? There it is. All righty. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for October 24th. October 24th is the 297th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 298th in leap years, with 68 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is sparsity. Sparsity is a noun that means the property of being scanty or scattered, lacking denseness. I would call it thin, but it's not like thin like a slender person. It's thin like not very thick, not much there. I'd like to take a moment to mention that links to my research are included in the show notes. I ask you to go ahead and click that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Unfortunately, we don't have outtakes when we're live. So there's nothing to stay to the end for that, but do stay to the end anyway, and let me know your thoughts in the comments section. You can share this video with others with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. And let's see. Oh, yes. I do have a playlist of other This Day in History videos that I've done. Those will be in the show notes and also in the iCards as when the video is finished processing after the live. Let's see here. Let's scoot this over here and open this back up. All righty then. We're going to start with the birthday of the Roman Emperor Domitian. He was born on October 24th in the year 51 AD. He served as the Emperor of Rome for 15 years until his death at the age of 44. One of the difficult things about being the Emperor of Rome was staying alive. A lot of them got the bad end of things. All righty, in 1194, a fire destroyed or devastated the Chartres Cathedral. I believe that is in Paris. They were motivated to rebuild it because it housed the relics of the Virgin Mary. I speak in past tense because that's what my research did, but that's probably still true. So I may be able to say that in the present tense. Anyway, a building of that substance doesn't go up overnight or very quickly at all, of course, but most of it was significantly reconstructed within about 25 years. All those punch list details, though, holy cow. And so it was that on October 24th, 1260, the Chartres Cathedral was dedicated in the presence of King Louis IX of France. Those are always stated in Roman numerals, and I have to translate them, but IX is 9. Louis IX of France. In the 1500s, English explorers tried to establish a colony on Roanoke Island under the leadership of Sir Walter Raleigh. It didn't work out, though. That first colony failed because they didn't have enough supplies, and they had not developed good relations with the local Native Americans, so they ended up abandoning that settlement. 2 years later, then, a second governor was named, and his name was John White. I mean, had that name since he was born, but he was named as the governor of the colony, and they began a second settlement on Roanoke Island. They got more or less set up, kind of got things going there, and having learned the lessons of the first failure, John White headed back to England to get more supplies. When he returned, he found the settlement fortified but abandoned. Now, they had leave the island, that they would leave an indication as to where they went. And I just got a little blurb that said something about reconnecting. Looks like we're still live. Okay, that's good. All righty. So yes, they had prearranged that if the settlers felt that they had to leave the island, they would leave some indication as to where they were planning to go. And they did. They did do that. Also, if they were leaving under duress or were being forced to leave, then they were to leave the sign of a Maltese cross. But there was no sign of a Maltese cross. So he followed the clues that they left. It seemed like they were going to a particular other island nearby, but he was never able to locate any trace of the colonists. This was particularly heartbreaking for John White because he had family among the colonists, his daughter and granddaughter. He left to return to Plymouth, England on October 24th, 1590, and never returned to the New World. Poland was completely consumed by Russia, Prussia, and Austria on October 24th, 1795. The first transcontinental telegraph line across the United States was completed on October 24th, 1861. A woman named Annie Edson Taylor became the first person to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel on October 24th, 1901. I visited Niagara Falls, and it is quite a feat of nature. It is amazing. If you ever have the opportunity to visit Niagara Falls, do, and appreciate how grand it is. And you will also then appreciate how insanely dangerous it would be to try to go over those falls in any way. It's illegal now. Don't even try it. If you survive, you'll go to jail. It's incredibly dangerous. It's just a miracle that she wasn't killed. Other people tried it later. Many of them didn't make it, but she was the first person to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel, 1901. The Santa Maria volcano in Guatemala began to erupt on October 24th, 1902, becoming the third largest eruption in the 20th century. Wowzers. This is the birthday of American FBI agent Melvin Purvis, born October 24th, 1903. He gained some fame for leading a manhunt that killed or captured such bank robbers as Babyface Nelson, John Dillinger, and Pretty Boy Floyd. Melvin Purvis lived to the age of 56. On October 24th, 1911, Orville Wright remained in the air 9 minutes and 45 seconds in a glider at Kill Devil Hills in North Carolina. Harry Houdini's last performance took place at the Garrett Theater in Detroit on October 24th, 1926. October 24th, 1929 is the infamous Black Thursday on the New York Stock Exchange, the first day of the stock market crash of 1929. Wow. This is the birthday of J.P. Richardson Jr., better known as the Big Bopper. He was an American musician, singer, and songwriter, and disc jockey. He died at the age of 28 in the same plane crash that killed Buddy Holly and Ritchie Valens, along with their pilot, Roger Peterson. The George Washington Bridge opened to the public traffic over the Hudson River on October 24th, 1931. The United Nations Charter came into effect on October 24th, 1945. A camera aboard the V-2 number 13 rocket took the first photograph of Earth from outer space on October 24th, 1946. Smile. On October 24th, 1947, Walt Disney himself testified before the House Un-American Activities Committee. Now that's Un-American Committee. And he named Disney employees that he felt were communist. On October 24th, 1954, President Eisenhower pledged United States support to South Vietnam. So you see, it wasn't just a 1960s thing. It started way back in 1954. And here's Poland again. On October 24th, 1980, the government of Poland legalized the Solidarity Trade Union. On October 24th, 1992, Toronto Blue Jays became the first Major League Baseball team outside the United States to win the World Series. And Concord made its last commercial flight on October 24th, 2003. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something you didn't know before. I know I sure did. I always do. If you enjoy this series, remember that I have a link to a playlist in the show notes. And as soon as the video finishes rendering, I'll get one up in the iCards up there in the corner. Let's see what else. I guess that's it. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. It always wants to know if I'm sure I want to end my stream. Yep.